Okay, so if you guys want to learn how to turn your A5 string TN whatever into a ring bound baby thing, then stay tuned. Hey. Alright you guys, thank you so much for stopping back by my channel. It's your girl Elaine Michelle. Of course, make sure that right now you click the subscribe button. It's not an option. Click the button. Okay, it's red, it's pretty, and then there's a little notification bell that you should click so that you don't miss any more of my videos as well. Alright, so today we're just going to be turning our A5 stuff, or just any TN stuff that you have, and I thought I would show you kind of like how I turned it into A5 rings. So Erin Condren has these absolutely amazing like little books here, right? But the thing is, after you put them all into your TN, it gets a little heavy. It gets really heavy, and I just can't. So what I wanted to do is show you guys what I did in my A5 rings that I got from Target. It's a little to clean it off. That I got from Target here recently, and I'll do a whole flip through or whatever, but I've actually moved my daily petite planners into my ring bound. So I'm gonna show you guys how I did that so you can see how it all goes down. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Let's go ahead and do one that I know I need to add into my planner. So we're gonna take this one, which is the like habit tracker one, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Let me make sure I got all of my tools over here I'm talking about. I'm going to show you how it's done. So what you're going to need is actually not a whole lot of things. You're going to need just something to cut the strings with, and you're going to need a hole puncher. I got this one from Michael's. This one is I think it's like $20, but if you use your coupon, it does work on the coupons. And then they have the sales, because I believe this is by Recollections, so it's, you know, part of that planner stuff whenever it's on sale. So that's one too. And don't mind my nail, I was like literally about to take my nails, like fill them and all that stuff, so I got a little excited. So anyways, you'll need that. And you'll also need something to cut the sheets with. That can be one of these by Friskars, or you can just use your scissors if you're good with hand cutting, however you feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and you want to go to the middle of the book. Okay, now some of them don't have as much binding. I think as they started to get like more comfortable, I would say, with the petite planners, they got a little more structured, because this one, I'll show you the difference when you go to the middle of the book. This one does not have like as much binding in there, if you can see that. Like, you don't have to worry about that. This one has a little bit more, so that's cool, because we'll take the time to do all of that there. All right, so what you're gonna do is you need to cut these little things here. So we're just gonna take our little thing and cut these strings so that they will unlatch themselves. Now, if you guys know an easier way to do this, by all means let me know. And you could possibly do it this way. I don't know how this, let's see, will this undo it? Did I just stumble upon? Wow, look at that. I just taught y'all a brand new way. Let me see if that'll really, will that preach? Will that preach? I think this will preach. Wow, I just taught myself something new on the camera. So, yeah, just tore this up. Didn't mean to do that, so I must didn't go all the way through. Okay, so if you cut directly, this one don't want to, got a little toughness there. Okay, so if you cut directly on the strings, you'll be able to save this. And I actually like saving these because you can use these as dividers. Inside of there, you can also punch them in your puncher. You probably have to take them apart because this puncher thing does not have a lot of give. But this is the 6-ring one you're going to want. There are 2 of them at Michael's, so be sure to get the longer one if you're in the A5. If you're in a personal size one, it'll be a smaller one. I didn't see the gold one in the bigger size, but that's not to say that it doesn't exist. Okay, so the only thing about that, yeah, it's not taking them all the way out of there like I thought it would. So my method before was just cutting them so that you could get that same feel. Oh, but that cuts it like that. Okay. Ow! Wow. wow, that made it even easier where you might not even need, okay, I just jacked it up, where you might not need the thing. So let me, this is the ghetto. This is the ghetto, child. Okay, so back to my way of doing it is just cutting the lines so that you get rid of the strings in here. And that's all I'm doing, just to make sure. So you will have some cuts. If you want to be just a little bit more cautious on how you cut, if you're concerned about cutting through the paper and all of that, which I am not, so I don't worry about any of that. And you just remove them. So see, you got to be more careful. And this is where it should just kind of like pop up out of there like this. So if you do it right, you'll see how they'll just start unloosing themselves from said string that wants to hold on tight and never let go. Shoot, if only I could get men to do the same thing. Just okay, I'm sorry. It's Saturday morning and I'm waking up to crazy. Okay, so we're just removing that, and like as you cut it, it will depart itself. So just keep going, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. You guys know what movie that's from? It's from Nemo, Finding Nemo. That's what Dory said. Fun fact, I didn't really watch Finding Dory because Finding Nemo was my shush. Like, I was in high school when Finding Nemo came out, and I absolutely loved Finding Nemo to the point where my dad went and bought me the DVD. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Just know I was special. So what I normally do is, now I take it, but the way that this one, if yours is bound tight like this, you probably can get away with just kind of breaking it apart like this. Like if you were, like if it was actually perforated, this is definitely easy to do. Or you can take it, if it's not as easily perforated, you just take this here like so, okay, and put it down. And I just literally put it right down on the middle of the lines, line it up, and cut it. So you'll have those little scraggly ends. If that bothers you, by all means, just, you know, cut them off. It does not bother me. I could care less because I don't have to look at it. But that's the thing. So now that you have them like kind of cut off, you can see, you know, how that'll work. So I'm gonna do like a couple more with just using the perforated way. I just think that'll be a little bit easier for you guys if it's like this. If it's one of the other ones that are a little bit further apart, it did not, it actually didn't do this, and when I cut it, it did a lot better with cutting, and it wasn't as like crinkly on the side. So just watch which one you have. Again, this is one of the newer papered petite planners. The ones I did before were from last year, so that could definitely be a difference if you guys have the newer petite planners with the thicker or new paper, whatever they're calling that. But yeah, so I'm just taking it with the perforated lines, and I'm just gonna do like maybe a couple more so we can show you how it would go into my planner. So there we go. All right, so I think I have enough now where it can make sense, and I have all of these unbound, so I can just kind of save these if I need to. This one, if I wanted to keep it and like house it on the outside, and like I said, just use it as a divider, that is definitely a great thing to do. So, ooh, look at all these little scragglies. Ooh, somebody gonna have to clean that up. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean that up. But again, you could just take this like this, and I would say, look, well, look at that. Look. Okay, come through. Now I need to, let me look at these new ones while I'm over here talking. Yep, they have bound all of the newer ones like this. So just follow those directions of going. You can go from the outside and cut it, and then when you get to the inside, just kind of do little cuts and it'll pop right out. So yeah, I was using the older petite planner, so that's definitely a good thing to note. When you're doing this, it is easy. You don't even need this. You don't even need a cutter. You don't even need the cutter, player. So we're just gonna stick this in here, and you want to kind of line it up. There are lines. I don't know if you guys can see the lines. It's one right here and one right here, and it just kind of tells you where to put your things at, so it kind of lines up. That way you don't have to worry about having too much or too little. And you want to stick it as fur stick it as far in there as you can. And then I'll also show you something else that I do. And I do this, I actually got this from Chiquisha. She said she did this and I couldn't understand why, but now I got why this is a thing, like why you should do this and why it makes sense. And where are my scissors? Where are my scissors? Oh, my scissors are right there. But if I have to reach over there, that's gonna be real ghetto. Hold on. Okay, so I had to go over there. So one thing that I like doing is cutting these right here, kind of reminiscent of the Happy Planner style, but it's still ring bound. I just say ring, yeah, it's still ring bound, not the discs. But this just allows you some room to be able to put it in there without worrying about it. So here's this, and we're just cutting. I usually just cut it like right in the middle, just a little slice, and this makes it so you don't have to worry about putting your rings and things in there. I'm gonna save that little piece because at some point in time I'm going to glue that back on there. So yeah, you just take the papers and they should all kind of be lined up. You probably won't be able to get more than 2 or 3 sheets in there at a time unless you have a bigger one. I did not see one from Swingline. I have one that I can adjust, but I'm kind of lazy when it comes to this. I just want it to be how I want it to be, when it needs to be there. So let's try 4, because I know 3 a preach, but I don't know if 4 do the thing. So let's see if we can get, yeah, I think it's, oh, wait, hold on. I might have spoke too soon. Hold on. One time some had got caught in here and I was real sad. Okay, so I just want to stick this in here and make sure I try to line it up. Okay. All right, so it did take 4 of them. I'll be just very cautious with that 4. Just making sure you have them in the right place. I'm gonna do these last little 4 ones right here. And then I'm gonna show you how we stick them in the planner, like after I do the cuts and stuff, and why I really, think this is a really cool idea. It's neat. I've seen people turn these into like Happy Planner things, but and I've seen some rings and strings, but I just thought I would show y'all how I did it. So I don't know who's all done this before, because I actually didn't. This is one time I did not YouTube. I was like, oh, I can do this myself, and I did it myself and it worked. So your girl was not tripping. So let me go through here, and I'm just gonna cut. Ooh, okay, I said I'm just gonna cut it. You need to cut it. Here and here and here and here. All right, so we have that in there now. So now what I can do is come over into my planner, and I can figure out exactly, and I think I want to put these back here at like my video stuff. So now, because I have these already in here, I have the slits in there, I don't have to undo my rings, because as you know, I think that was one of the things that people were experiencing with the rings. As you open and close them several times and you're doing it too often, and if the rings aren't strong enough, how does that hold up? So that's a whole thing, and this makes it easier for you to avoid having those def rings. So these you don't have to pop them open, you don't have to do anything, you just stick your papers right in there, and then when you need to get your paper out, it's the same thing. You just rip your paper out and you have your page and you can take it with you. So I love this method. I love having this ring binder. I wasn't sure, this is actually how I started out planning, was in a ring binder, but yeah, so now I have them in here, and if I wanted to, this is where I was saying I could add this after it to kind of, what do I have right here? I can add this here, and it'll be like a little divider between the habit tracker and the video planner, so I can keep those in there if you wanted to. You don't have to, it's not a necessity, but that's kind of how I do my thing. All right, you guys, I hope you have enjoyed this brief tutorial, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're interested in turning your petites into an A5 binder, from strings to rings, whatever we're gonna call this, I don't know yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in my next video. Mwah! KK, bye!